Live from Chicago, this is News 3 Now's special coverage of the Democratic National Convention.
Well, good Thursday morning, everybody. Welcome back to News 3 Now this morning's live coverage from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Kyrie Lee live in Chicago once again for the top stories of the final day of the DNC this morning. But first, we want to get back to our developing story right now. Crews are responding to a house fire in the town of Bristol. That's just northeast of Sun Prairie. First responders were called to the home on Branch Road near US 151. This happened before 2 o'clock this morning. There are currently no reports of injuries or any specific damage. The Dane County Sheriff's Office and Sun Prairie Fire Department both responding. They are still there. We are following this story and will provide you updates as we get them here in the newsroom.
Now let's get back to our DNC coverage and Kyrie Lee, who is outside of the Wisconsin Delegate Hotel along the Riverwalk downtown. Looks like another nice start to the morning, Kyrie.
Yes, it is another nice start to the morning. So good morning to you all. It's beautiful down here, you know, and so the temperatures are perfect as we head into the fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention. And the theme for today is For Our Future. And we're going to see some Wisconsin representation today. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that we will hear from Senator Tammy Baldwin early in the proceedings tonight. Former Republican Representative Adam Kinzinger from Illinois will also speak as well. That's according to reports from multiple outlets and Kinzinger himself. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is slated to be one of at least 3 governors to give a speech on the final day today. And of course, Vice President Kamala Harris will give the keynote address and accept the Democratic nomination for president. But before then, the Democrats will have officially Democrats now have a committed nominee for vice president. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz accepted his nomination as vice president last night during a speech. Walz used his speech to give what many are considering his prominent introduction to the nation. He cited some accomplishments as governor of Minnesota and used them to send a clear message to voters.
Because in Minnesota, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make. And even if we wouldn't make those same choices for ourselves, we've got a golden rule. Mind your own damn business.
Walz, known for his Midwestern charm, has also served as an attack dog against former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance. He was one of the first to use the word weird to describe both Trump and Vance. And speaking of Vance, the stage is set for the first vice presidential debate between Walz and Vance. It will take place on October 1st. CBS is hosting the debate, so you can watch it right here on News 3 Now. At the convention, other high-profile Democrats are continuing to back current Vice President Kamala Harris. Wednesday's lineup included former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who also spoke during the Wisconsin Delegates Breakfast. Pelosi had reportedly played a notable role in urging President Joe Biden to step aside in the race. Pelosi paid tribute to President Biden before turning her attention to the future.
And we must choose leaders who believe in free and fair elections, who respect the peaceful transfer of power. Those leaders are Vice President Harris and Governor Walz.
Former President Bill Clinton also spoke last night. He turned his experiences running for presidency when speaking in support of Vice President Harris.
Kamala Harris will work to solve our problems, seize our opportunities, ease our fears, and make sure every single American, however they vote, has a chance to chase their dreams.
He also called presidential elections, quote, the greatest job interview for the greatest job in the world. Now let's turn to the Wisconsin Democrats. They're looking to keep up the momentum. The energy shown so far during the convention is even present at the delegates' breakfast. I spoke with Peggy Wirtz, who is a first-time Wisconsin delegate coming from Sun Prairie. She is a high school English and art teacher and also president of the Wisconsin Education Association Council. As a teacher, she says they're up against a lot of obstacles and want their voices to be heard.
That theme of fighting for our freedoms is so important to teachers like me because we're fighting for that freedom for students to learn. We've been facing things like book bans and, other attacks on just learning, that freedom to learn, but our freedom for our students to be who they are. And so educators like me want an America where everyone is free to be who they are, to learn, to love, and our students can be themselves and comfortable in our society.
She also has high praise for the selection of Tim Walz, as he is a former educator. And it has been a busy week for all of Wisconsin's delegates, of course, but in between business, they also have to figure out where to go to eat. While cheese curds may be harder to find here, there is plenty of pizza options, let me tell you. We spoke to one Chicago native who shared his signature order.
It's one of my favorites. It's my own recipe. Pepperoni, mushroom, and onion on butter crust, no tomato sauce. Sometimes I do, but the tomato sauce sometimes is a little, sweet.
That was from a restaurant called Lou Malnati's, and it's certainly not the only deep dish pizzeria in the city. I'm not sure how you all feel about deep dish pizza, but I don't necessarily know if I like having to eat the pizza with a fork. I kind of just want to grab the slice and go. What about you guys?
So I learned that our team has a lot of opinions when it comes to deep dish pizza. I'm one of those that I'll eat anything and everything. My husband, my family call me a human garbage disposal. So I'll eat any kind of pizza, but Stanford, you have an opinion.
Not for me. No thanks on the Chicago deep dish. I'll pass. Kyron, what about you?
As I know, Savannah is in Chicago. I know Savannah's from Chicago, the Chicago area, so she's probably in for it. I'm not big deep dish just because, you've got to do too much digging and it's messy, but it is pretty good, though.
Dense.
But just not my favorite.
Dense is a good
Dense.
word. You're going to feel that slice of pizza for a few days after that, I think.
Right. Make itself right at home, right here.
On the back end, yeah, definitely.
All right. Carry on. All right. All right, thanks, Kyron. We'll check back in with you in a little bit and talk more about the DNC. Little sidetrack there on the food talk, but
it's okay. Sometimes we need to get away from politics a little bit.
We do talk about it quite a bit. All right, let's get outside to Savannah on the patio. Hey there, Savannah.
Hey guys, we're tracking some warmer temperatures on the way. Not this morning. It's still chilly. You'll want a hoodie or lighter jacket before heading out, but we'll be in the 80s this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Sunday and Monday, definitely going to be a lot warmer. We're back to above average temperatures and the warm temperatures that we haven't seen since early August. We're below average as far as precipitation goes. I still think we'll be mostly dry, though, the next couple of days heading into the weekend. A slight chance of showers is going to return. No day sticks out the most, I think, mid to late week next week with another frontal system. That could increase our chances slightly. We're at 52 in Madison, some 40s. That's mainly upper 40s west of Madison. Cross Plains at 49, Mount Horeb also at 49 this morning. There are some areas, mainly like Waukesha and the northwest of Madison, that are down to the mid to even lower 40s this morning. We'll talk about the temperature change in pattern and what that's kind of associated with, why we're going to start to see some warmer temperatures. That's coming up.
All right, Savannah, thank you. We are 75 days away from Election Day, and the closer we get, the more political ads we'll all be seeing and hearing.
All right, Ellie LaLiberte spoke to both the Republican and Democratic parties about their strategies for these ads.
She just lied.
The border is secure.
Advertisements like these
Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents.
Are meant to reach you. Both parties are trying to turn views to votes, especially in key swing states.
Wisconsin is the state that tipped the presidential election for Trump in 2016, for Biden in 2020, and it's in the top 3, maybe top 2, maybe number 1 state in the country that will tip the 2024 presidential race.
Both the Republicans and Democrats are ramping up resources.
We will try to do everything we can to get in front of voters.
We have the resources to be competitive, and we're spending those resources to make sure that we get the message out there, whether that's through advertisements or otherwise.
Getting in front of voters on TV and on your phone.
TV ads alone aren't the only way to reach people. So what we're doing is we're shifting a lot of our things to like TikTok, to like a lot of different digital platforms. And the reason for that is just because we want people to know about Kamala Harris. We want people to know about Governor Walz.
And the Democratic Party is working hard to make that happen. The Wesleyan Media Project, a group that tracks political advertising, found that Democrats are spending more on ads, putting up roughly $63 million versus $49 million spent to promote Donald Trump. But Republicans are confident in Trump's brand.
Well, the branding of Make America Great Again is the best branding in political history because it's a unifying message for all Americans. All Americans want America to be great again. So it's about making sure we express that. It's about making sure that people are joining that movement.
While on the other hand, Harris's late entry into the race means her campaign is working to establish her.
So that's why we are investing a lot of money into just making sure people know exactly what she stands for, exactly what her vision for the country is.
And no matter the political messaging, both parties say they will appear more on your screens as we get closer to November.
75 days to Election Day, 75 days too many, I think, for a lot of folks. And I mean, we haven't seen the end of this yet. We're not even close.
And it's only those ads are only going to ramp up, and like directly reaching out to voters through text messages and the phone calls and the emails, the flyers, all that stuff. You know, it feels like it's in full swing at the moment, and that's just going to intensify.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to think about what that week leading up to the election is going to look like.
I'm already getting 2 or 3 texts a day, so it's crazy.
It sure is. 10 after 6 coming up. We're going to rejoin Kyrie Lee in Chicago with more coverage of the Democratic National Convention.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Brought to you by Toyota.
At Toyota's national sales event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Right now, you can lease a sporty new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month, or lease a new 2025 Camry for $349 a month.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
That's a great deal. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
I have prepared a Thomas's breakfast for you to savor together.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, are English muffins from England?
Heavens no. They're from the pantry.
Are you from England?
Nay, I am also from the pantry. Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
A biker must always be on alert from careless drivers who could cause a serious crash, and from the insurance company if that crash happens. When you're seriously injured, there's only one call to make: Gruber Law Offices. Insurance companies often blame bikers to avoid paying what's fair. We'll fight for the money you deserve, and there's never a fee until we win. Over 35 years experience winning for injured bikers. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
My son Joshua was 18 years old when he was murdered by an illegal alien. He was tortured, strangled to death, and then set on fire. When I hear Kamala Harris making a joke about the border and just laughing it off, it's painful. Kamala Harris was in charge of securing our border, and she's done nothing. If Kamala Harris is elected president, it'll get worse. If it can happen to my family, it can happen to yours.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is the Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress, and it's designed to help you feel cool. So no more sweating all night, no kicking off the covers or blasting the air conditioning, because only the Tempur-Pedic Breeze is made with our one-of-a-kind cooling technology that pulls heat away from your body, so the mattress feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long.
Save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
All right, we're back here at 6:14, continuing our coverage of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
4th and final day, and that's where we find Kyrie Lee live for us.
Good morning, Chris and Josh. Beautiful morning here in Chicago. It's actually been pretty picture perfect, if I do say so myself. We are live outside the hotel where Wisconsin's 95 delegates have been staying this week. And again, as you all mentioned, we are heading into the fourth and final day of the convention. This is leading up to the big speech tonight where we are going to hear from Vice President Kamala Harris as she formally accepts her party's nomination as the presidential nominee. Now, we have been focusing on the Wisconsin Delegates breakfast here in the morning. We're not sure who we're going to be hearing from this morning, but yesterday we had guest appearance from Nancy Pelosi. So the energy in the room was real high when she came out, received a standing ovation. Some of the people I got to speak to yesterday, I spoke with Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley, and I asked him, what is he going to be doing with Wisconsin being a battleground state? What work is his office going to be doing? And he actually echoed some of the words of former First Lady Michelle Obama's speech from the other night and said that everyone's going to have to do something. He says his office will be knocking on doors, making calls, going to cities throughout Wisconsin that may be more Republican leaning to try to rally in supporters during this process leading up to the big election. Again, we'll be at that breakfast here again in just about a couple of hours as it gets underway. But again, fourth and final day, theme for today, for our future. So we'll see what comes out of this today. I'm going to send it back over to you all in the studio.
Kyrie Lee live in Chicago. Kyrie, thank you.
All right, quarter after now, I want to get to some local news. Madison police are investigating a stabbing that happened at a hotel on the east side. It happened right on East Wash Sunday morning. The victim says that he was attacked by 3 people and they stole his wallet. The victim was taken to the hospital for treatment and has since been released. Now, because he did have an arrest warrant out for an unrelated incident, the victim was taken to the Dane County Jail. No arrests related to the stabbing have been made at this point.
Let's get to First Warn meteorologist Savannah Brito and her forecast at 6:16 this morning. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, guys. Thank you. Temperatures cooling down west of Madison. Now there are areas that are in the upper 40s, 49 in Cross Plains, 49 in Mount Horeb, 52, though, in Madison, 51 in Stoughton. So temperatures are close to 10 degrees below average. Those that are in the upper 40s only, those are 10 degrees below average. 54 in Monroe, a little warmer there. Camp Douglas, Wisconsin Dells, both sitting at 48 this morning. 43 in Black River Falls. The good news is if you don't like the cooler temperatures we're experiencing, we will start to see warmer nighttime temperatures. But with that also comes humidity levels or dew points rising. Those become very uncomfortable as we get further into the weekend or closer to the weekend, Saturday, and then that Sunday, Monday time frame. The high pressure breaks down. That allows all of this warmer air that's been building over the Great Plains and the deep south to slide further east, and that will bring us warmer temperatures out there. For the Pacific Northwest, though, a low pressure system actually could bring them some not so nice weather, some precipitation, and also definitely cooler weather. Check out the temperatures over the next 48 hours. For us, we're going to rise in the mid-70s. For areas that are in the deep south, though, you saw that hot pink contour. Those temperatures are going to be pushing that 100-degree mark or likely above that. As far as heat index values go, those are going to surge, not for us, but areas just directly to our west and southwest. Areas in the Pacific Northwest might only range right around that 60-degree mark. Even so, we'll see some precipitation locally, but also want to note the first snow of this season. Yes, I said the S word, snow. We could see that for the Pacific Northwest. You can see those little pink dots on radar as clouds increase over those areas. That's associated with that strong low pressure system. After that cold front passes the area, there actually could be some snowflakes that fall from the sky. Nowhere near here, though, luckily, at least yet. But we're going to see much warmer temperatures from that same high pressure system moving out of here. We warm to 84 Saturday, almost 90 on Sunday. I think a couple areas could break that on Sunday, but that's more likely on Monday. And then temperatures fall towards the end of next week.
The Packers close out their preseason slate on Saturday with a home matchup against the Ravens. And as of now, Matt LaFleur hasn't said a peep about if the starters will play. What we do know today, the two franchises will practice together and compete against each other. And after how last week's joint practice went, Green Bay is looking forward to seeing where they stack up against one of the top teams in the AFC.
Knowing that was a top defense in the league last year, you know, just really seeing how we match up and just executing well and, you know, just giving all the effort we got, no matter what. So that's our mindset and goal.
That'll be a good momentum builder into the game because, like we kind of had in Denver, our practice wasn't that great, and then we don't play great in the game. So, you know, being able to jump back, get that momentum back, I think it'll be huge for us.
Fall camp has looked a little different at Platteville this season. You see those blue things everyone's wearing on their helmets? Well, those are Guardian caps, and the Pioneers are the first team in the WIAC to provide the protective caps to everyone on the team. It's an investment to keep their athletes safe, and if wearing them can limit head injuries, we'll sign this squad up.
I really haven't noticed them, to be honest. I think they're great, though. I mean, obviously the studies and those things say that they're safer, so obviously if they can keep us safer and they don't affect our play or our gameplay, anything like that, then perfect, let's wear them.
I don't really notice it either. It's kind of it's just there. But I think more than anything, it kind of serves as an emblem of player safety for us, how like we care about player safety.
And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
6:20 right now, still ahead. Starbucks rolling out its fall flavors today. We'll show you the new item on the menu this season.
Coming up in our next half hour, I'm going to talk with some rural Wisconsin voters and find out how both parties are trying to win them over this election season.
Wisconsin Broadcasters. Local, trusted, connected.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on this 2024 Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $5,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
Hey, you're sober? You drive.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you, thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
All right, oh dear, Linda.
Dear.
Thanks for this
Bambi.
picture.
This one we can tell what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we appreciate it. Yeah, that wildlife.
Baby deer. Got the spots and everything on it yet.
A fawn.
A fawn, yeah. I was going to say that, and then I was like, wait, is that the correct term? Yes.
Appreciate it. Thanks for snapping it and sending it our way, Linda. Appreciate it. All right, so 1 month left to go in the summer, and Starbucks is rolling out their fall flavors today, earlier than ever.
Might as well get the Christmas tree out at this point.
Well, it's sales.
I'm just kidding. Please don't.
I might just do that.
Yeah,
don't.
He does.
Don't.
One thing you learn about Josh is he gets that tree out really early. Anyway, fall flavors at Starbucks rolling out the pumpkin spice lattes, and new this year, the new iced apple crisp non-dairy cream chai.
Try ordering that
That's
one.
a lot in one.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do that. I have to read it as I'm
Right. You gotta have a list.
Yeah.
A script there to go along with your order. So yeah, all the usual favorites are back. Earlier, Starbucks sales have been struggling, so maybe this will boost sales. Josh, we were talking off camera. You're like, yeah, it's early, but you know that line is still going to be around
every year.
Out on the road.
People complain because it gets earlier and earlier, but more and more people do it.
I know. I don't like the fall flavors. I don't know. I'm not a pumpkin person.
On some of these crisp mornings, it's a little cool out there. I could see people feeling.
I've already transitioned to hot coffee in the morning versus iced coffee, so we're
that is a key transition for Josh.
Wow.
I know.
That's scary.
I know that. Time to break out those coats, folks.
Oh, man.
And the boots.
Not yet.
Hey, well, if you're thinking about snagging a deal on fall travel, listen to this. Expedia says flight searches are up and interest is strong. Travel experts at Going say that people are taking shorter trips and scaling down on fancy hotels and putting that money towards the experiences. Bottom line, travel deals are out there, but there's competition. So if you find one, snag it early, and you will have company on these trips.
Crazy to think. Summer's wrapping up.
I know it's Labor Day next weekend, and temperatures are going to feel more Labor Day-like today than we're tracking for the weekend. Those details coming up.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Under our roof, they're free to dream big. Because we're here to help protect those dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
At Toyota's National Sales Event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, Ford.
Right now, you can lease a sporty new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month, or lease a new 2025 Camry for $349 a month.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
For Imprint certain?
Certainty matters. 4imprint is your home for promo gear to wow clients and inspire your team. Check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
The burn pit at our base in Iraq had just shut down, but the poisons were around us everywhere. Back home, I got diagnosed with cancer, but the VA denied coverage to a lot of us who got sick. Tammy Baldwin knew that was wrong, and she wasn't going to let that stand. She worked with both parties to pass a law. So now, thousands of us exposed to toxic chemicals are getting the care that we deserve. It took a fight, but Tammy Baldwin, she's a hell of a fighter.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. Upgrading your home this summer? Then you need the experts at Feldco. Let us bring your project to life and save you money. Right now at Feldco, get 30% off roofing and siding with no interest until 2026. With experienced craftsmen dedicated to every detail, combined with products made in the USA, you'll enjoy value and curb appeal. 30% off roofing and siding ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Under our roof, they're free to dream big. Because we're here to help protect those dreams. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Live from Chicago, this is News 3 Now's special coverage of the Democratic National Convention.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to News 3 Now special coverage of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Breiter. Kyrie Lee live from the Windy City for the fourth and final day of the DNC. Kyrie, good morning to you once again.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention. We've been here all week long. I'm live outside of the hotel where the Wisconsin delegates are staying, the 95 of them here along the Chicago Riverwalk. And it is a beautiful morning here in Chicago. And in this fourth and final day, we will hear from Vice President Kamala Harris as she hits the stage tonight to formally accept her party's nomination as the presidential nominee. But we'll have more about that a little bit later. But first, let's recap day 3 and what you may have missed overnight. Notable speakers last night included Nancy Pelosi, Bill Clinton, and Pete Buttigieg. The night's keynote speech from Minnesota Governor and Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz. In an introductory video, his wife Gwen Walz narrated the story of his life. She talked about his roots in Nebraska and his time with the Army National Guard. After taking the stage, Walz talked more about his life, including becoming a teacher and running for office. It wasn't all biography, though. Walz took swings at his Republican counterpart, specifically calling out Project 2025.
It's an agenda nobody asked for. It's an agenda that serves nobody except the richest and the most extreme amongst us. And it's an agenda that does nothing for our neighbors in need. Is it weird? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's also wrong, and it's dangerous.
And you can tune in right here to News 3 Now because CBS will host a debate between Walz and J.D. Vance on October 1st. And we also heard from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. The former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, painted a picture of the Republican ticket as being solely based in negativity. Like Walz, Buttigieg took aim at Trump and Vance directly, saying Trump's choice of running mate sends a clear message to the American people.
And the message is that they are doubling down on negativity and grievance. Committing to a concept of campaigning best summed up in one word: darkness. Darkness is what they are selling. The thing is, I just don't believe that America today is in the market for darkness.
And we do have a response from J.D. Vance about night 3 of the DNC. The senator from Ohio has been out all week defending the Trump campaign, including a stop in Wisconsin on Tuesday. Last night, Vance went on CNN to take on the criticism Democrats made about the GOP agenda.
My entire criticism of the Democratic approach here is they're focused on fake issues instead of the real record. When Tim Walz says that Donald Trump's agenda doesn't work for middle-class Americans, he already was president for 4 years, and his agenda worked very well for middle-class Americans.
Vance will be back out on the campaign trail defending and promoting Trump's record today. He's making a stop in Georgia with plans to discuss immigration. Now let's get into what's happening tonight. The theme is For Our Future. Harris will formally accept the Democratic presidential nomination in her keynote address, as mentioned. The VP was absent from the convention yesterday, reportedly to work on that speech. And we do have some new details about what she'll focus on. Her campaign says her 3 objectives are her record, setting apart her agenda from former President Donald Trump's, and her optimistic vision for the country. And we'll also hear from a notable Wisconsinite, Senator Tammy Baldwin. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says the senator up for re-election against Republican Eric Hovde will speak in the early evening. And again, we will be here all day long bringing you the latest from the fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention. We'll be going to the Wisconsin Delegates Breakfast around 8 a.m. this morning to get you some insight on that. We'll have more updates on that on noon. And of course, you can tune in all day here on News 3 Now and over on our website, channel3000.com. But for now, I'm going to send it back over to you all in the studio, Chris and Josh.
Sounds good. Kyrie, we'll talk to you in a little bit.
Let's get to Savannah Brito and the first Warren weather forecast. How's it on the weather patio this morning, Savannah?
Guys, it's a little warmer than yesterday, not by much, maybe a degree or two. We're still only at 52 this morning in Madison. Not as cool, though. Cross Plains and Mount Horeb both at 48 degrees this morning, and that's not even the coolest spot out there. Black River Falls is at 42, Waukesha at 46. We will start to see warmer overnight lows as early as tonight. Most of us dropping to the mid-50s, a couple in the lower 50s, maybe a spot in the upper 40s, but then over the weekend, that's when temperatures are going to be much warmer out there, both the afternoon hours and then especially the nighttime temperatures too. If you're heading to Chicago, though, temperatures will be warmer there actually than what we'll see here. That's because high pressure moves closer to that area or closer away from that area, and our wind speeds are back out of the south. They'll see more sunshine that we're forecasting here across southern Wisconsin. The 80s return, though, over the weekend, even close to 90 by that Sunday, Monday time frame. I think some minimal chances for showers. I'll talk about which day that will be the best case, at least for storms to return to the forecast. That's coming up a little later, guys.
All right, Savannah, thank you. 6:35 this morning. Other headlines right now. One man is in jail after Madison police say he broke into a home on Troy Drive. They received a call from people who live there saying they woke up to a man standing over them in their bedroom. This was at 1 o'clock this morning. They said the man was covered in blood and told them he'd been shot. He then ran out of the bedroom with a lamp. When officers arrived, they say the man was hiding in the basement. Here's what we know right now. Police were able to arrest him. They ultimately realized he hadn't been shot, but instead had injuries from breaking into the home through a window. Police say he was living in a transitional housing facility nearby and had made paranoid statements earlier in the evening. They think he was under the influence. He received treatment at a hospital before going to jail.
Now to an update to that fire near Sun Prairie this morning. In a news release just in, crews say nobody was home at the time of arrival around 2 o'clock this morning. Firefighters got there at Branch Road in the town of Bristol. Investigators say the home is a total loss, though, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. We got both of these stories out early this morning overnight. As soon as we heard about them through the Channel 3000 mobile app, make sure to sign up for those push alerts and you can get alerted to stories like this as well. Coming up, the fight for the rural vote. We'll have an expert weigh in about what the parties need to do to reach small-town Wisconsin.
But first, a live look in Chicago this morning as we continue our team coverage live from the Windy City.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The alarming spike in inflation soaring to its highest level in nearly 40 years.
That is called Bidenomics.
Gas prices rose again today, reaching a new all-time high.
We're still dealing with inflation, and we've got super high interest rates at the same time.
Bidenomics is working.
2/3 of Americans are just struggling to make ends meet.
And this comes after Friday's jobs report showing a spike in unemployment.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Get an 11% rebate on outdoor lighting now at Menards. We're your one-stop shop for your outdoor lighting needs. From landscape lights to string lights and floodlights, we have a great selection. Enhance the look of your home and find your style with over 50 in stock outdoor wall light options on sale. Get this outdoor wall light with built-in GFCI for $35.59 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider. So switch to Spectrum and get a powerful network that connects nearly 500 million devices.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with free modem, no data caps, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee when you level up to a gig. Call 1-855-735-1336 or scan to call.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming with the most reliable internet speeds. get a powerful network that millions of customers rely on. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with 99.9% network reliability, no added taxes or hidden fees, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee. Call 1-855-735-1336.
Call now.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act.
That takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
Chicago hosts the Democratic National Convention, and News 3 Now will be there. We'll bring you live team coverage all week as the Democratic Party takes center stage in the Windy City, rallying around their presidential ticket. Plus, we'll talk to delegates about the issues that matter most to voters here in Wisconsin. Campaign 2024 coverage live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. All this week on News 3 Now, moving forward.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
We're back with our coverage of the 2024 Democratic National Convention in Chicago.
Kyrie Lee is live along the Chicago Riverwalk this morning. And Kyrie, a big day for Kamala Harris. And this is really going to be a historic night for women in politics.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Josh, Chris. If elected, Kamala Harris would be unlike any president we've had before, of course. When she formally accepts the nomination from her party tonight, she will be the first ever black woman to do so and the second woman to do so on her ticket. So in Chicago, our crew spoke with a Wisconsin delegate from Madison. Arvina Martins, the executive director of Emerge Wisconsin, a networking group for women Democrats. Here's what she had to say about Harris and how she's changing the race.
We have more women, when we have more Black women and South Asian women, when we have more Native women, we're able to take on big issues and make policy that can really help as many people as possible and get more people in that room and get more ideas and really just make better decisions for our community as a whole.
Martin says Harris's identity is making a difference with voters. A CBS poll from last week shows 56% of likely women voters are planning on casting their ballots for Harris compared to 45% of likely male voters. Now, I did speak to Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley yesterday, and he spoke a little bit about the topic as well. Take a listen.
When it comes down to what I'm going to be doing, every single thing I need to do to make sure that we make history in electing the first woman president of the United States.
Now, this was on day 3, Fight for Our Freedoms. Crawley said the theme really hit home as a person of color and a father. He says he's not only fighting for those who come behind him, but also people like his daughters. Again, fourth and final day of the Democratic National Convention here in Chicago. We're live outside the hotel where Wisconsin delegates are staying at this week, and we'll have coverage for you all day long. So you can tune in right here on air on News 3 Now or over on our Channel 3000 website. I'm going to send it back over to you all in the studio.
All right, Kyrie Lee live from Chicago. Great coverage out there this morning.
Thanks, Kyrie. Well, one demographic that will help decide the presidential race this fall will be rural voters. The latest New York Times poll shows 31% of rural voters in swing states, key swing states, aren't Republicans or Democrats, but independents. I sought to find out how Democrats are trying to win or win back folks in small town Wisconsin.
Let's have a party tonight.
The Wisconsin State Fair. Corn.
Can I get 2 corn on the cob?
Cream puffs, crowds, and cows. It's a good place to find people like Michelle Ballwig, a mom of 2 from Mesa Maney.
Rural is a community to me.
She's an undecided rural voter who doesn't clearly align with either presidential candidate.
They just aren't very in touch with what the real issues are.
Others feel the same.
Federally, no, we don't feel like our voices are being heard.
The latest New York Times poll in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin shows 14% of rural voters are undecided.
Rural voters in those places could be the deciding factor.
UW professor Kathy Kramer spent years in rural towns across the state listening to voters and put the findings in her acclaimed book, The Politics of Resentment. To win over rural voters, she says politicians have to go to small towns, listen, and act.
And it has to directly address the major concerns that people in our rural communities are feeling.
Back at the fair, state Dems are using a different strategy of going to where the voters are.
Usually just ask them to be open-minded and listen to what Harris has to say.
The chair of the Democratic Rural Caucus says they try to focus on shared values instead of division.
We all want a healthy environment. We all want life to be fair.
At the same venue, state Republicans are also here.
Less government control, but more control of our borders. You know, that's so many people are coming in. There's a lot of fear.
But at the moment, neither party is offering voters like Michelle a clear choice.
Honestly, it's really hard to make any sense of it because everybody is so far left and so far right.
There's a potential for both parties to attract people wanting a politician who genuinely respects them and understands the issues that they're facing. So they're going to play a role.
And the next few weeks are going to be crucial in that same New York Times poll of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania voters. Rural voters were the most likely to vote. And at this point in the race, there are a lot of voters out there who are now starting to tune in. More than 2/3 of voters in that poll say that they are very much paying close attention to this presidential race now.
Well, and those perspectives like Michelle's are important, right? I think there are a lot more Michelles out there than we know of.
Not just rural voters.
Yes.
People all walks of life and in all corners of the state. A lot of them feel like that. They're going to reach out by text, email, all these calls,
all the ways.
The flyers and everything. We're going to get all this stuff posted to our door, and it's just going to get more intense as we get closer to Election Day.
Oh, great story, Chris. Let's check in now with first-floor meteorologist Savannah Burrito with your forecast on a Thursday. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, guys. Temperatures out there are in the 40s west of Madison. There are other places outside of Dane County across southern Wisconsin that are as low as the 40s. We'll see more widespread temperatures falling into the lower to mid-50s tonight, so it will be a little bit warmer. We're at 52 in Madison, 53 in McFarland, 48 though in Cross Plains, Waukesha. One of the cooler temperatures this morning at 46. Black River Falls, though, down to 43 degrees. Warmer afternoon temperatures are on the way. We're actually going to see those rise back to above average Saturday, Sunday, and that will last into early next week. This is why the high pressure that was overhead is starting to slide further southeast. As that continues to move eastward, we are going to see the heat that's been building out west slide closer to our area and further east, allowing those 90s to get very close to the area. I think there is a chance that areas Janesville and southward and especially westward do hit that 90-degree mark or make it into the lower 90s. Less likely here across the Madison area. That low pressure system that will be sitting across the Pacific Northwest, there is a change in our jet stream. Cooler temperatures are going to experience cooler temperatures out just to our west in the Pacific Northwest. Eventually, though, as that system slides closer to our area, we are going to see temperatures fall. But because that high pressure system breaking down and our winds that are back out of the south, we'll see slightly warmer temperatures out there this afternoon. Those shower chances still holding out. There's not one day that stands out the most. Saturday night into Sunday, we could see some showers. As early as Friday afternoon, evening, I think we could start to see a couple stray showers. But again, the slight chance that remains in the forecast is overall low. But because the high pressure building or breaking down and moving eastward, that's going to allow those spotty shower chances to kind of travel this close east. The other thing to note, we are going to see those warmer temperatures slide closer to our area. As early as tomorrow, we'll be back to what's seasonal or near seasonal, 79. We're up to 84 Saturday and then 87 on Sunday. So this weekend looking hot.
All right, Savannah, thank you. We are in the 608 this morning with a follow-up to our News 3 Now Back to School Drive. Distribution starts today. Lindsey Brahms from the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County joining us in studio this morning. Lindsey, good morning to you.
Good morning, Josh. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you bet. So it's a big day for you you guys, I guess the big question is how did we do with all of our donations this year?
Yes, oh my gosh, we're thrilled that today is the day that distribution starts, and we received about $40,000 worth of school supplies for students here in Dane County.
That is huge. So that is from donations, the monetary funds that you guys got as well, and then the Amazon wish list, right?
Exactly, exactly. So our team has been hard at work this week, pairing through supplies, making sure each location has sufficient amount of supplies to distribute to our students.
So that's going to be one of the biggest things later today. Let's talk about distribution because folks might notice some changes this year.
Sure, absolutely. So this year we'll be at 4 of our club locations here within Dane County, and folks can arrive at our club locations starting at 4 p.m. is when we'll start distribution. It is first come, first served basis, so we may not have supplies necessarily around 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Hopefully we do, but we encourage folks to come early.
That is good advice there. And you know, when you think about $40,000 worth of donations, that has to make you guys feel really, really good about just how much this community has stepped up for you.
Absolutely. We're so grateful for everyone who has contributed, either dropping off supplies at our Stuff the Bus events outside of Metcalf's, coming to our clubs and dropping off supplies, or contributing through our Amazon wish list and monetary support as well.
You know, when you look at just how much the community helps in those ways, especially this time of the year, this is a stressful time for families. And what sort of messages are you hearing from some of the families that you guys assist with?
Absolutely. Folks are so grateful for any and all supplies they're able to receive. Again, this time of year can really be a financial burden on a lot of families. So this helps alleviate that stress for them and helps students gear up for the academic year ahead and have a successful year.
So we do have a graphic we want to show folks again later on today, 4 to 7 o'clock. If people are interested, what's the best way? I know you mentioned get there early. Is there anything to sign up? How does that work for folks that are like, hey, I need this for my kid?
So there's no sign up. It's just come to our club locations and make sure to get an early spot. And again, this is an opportunity for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County to also showcase our programs and services. So it'll be an open house of sorts too. So if folks are interested in joining our programs for the academic year, they have the opportunity to do so as well.
Yeah, because your work doesn't stop today. This is 365 days a year that you guys are working hard in the community.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Lindsay, thank you so much, and congratulations, honestly, to our wonderful community for stepping up in all these amazing ways. We're always surprised by the generous support, right?
Absolutely. No, and our community certainly stepped up this year, and we are so grateful for everyone's support.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lindsay. All of this is up on channel3000.com for more information. Just ahead, we have the morning sprint, but first, as we head to break, we want to say happy birthday to those turning 3 today. We're back after this.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Taking the time to savor Thomas's crunchy yet soft bagels.
Thanks, Tom.
It's Tom, actually.
Right, Tom.
Tom. You doing that on purpose?
Tam.
Tam.
How have we got to Tam?
Huzzah! A toast to breakfast.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid Brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
I'm so happy I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
This summer, feel confident from head to toe with Sono Bello Permanent Fat Removal and get summer body ready in just one visit.
I saw the results immediately.
It's the best I have felt since I was in my 20s.
My waist is tiny. I'm very, very happy.
I'm nearly 50, y'all, and my abs haven't been this flat since before I had kids.
For a limited time, take advantage of Sono Bello's biggest sale of the year. Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It will change your life. It did for me.
I can't wait till the summertime hit. Hot Mom Summer, here I come.
Call 1-800-905-6520 now or go to sonobello.com to claim special pricing.
My day is packed. Client meetings,
patient rounds,
getting kids out the door.
But Eric Hovde thinks all women care about is Hollywood.
It's just deplorable. Sadly, with, females, they spend too much time focused on what's going on in Hollywood.
Well, guess what, Eric Hovde?
We know you supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
And we know you'd vote for a national abortion ban, too.
Eric Hovde must think he knows better than us.
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health Meritor, a partner of UW Health, know how much you matter to this world.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Get select large thin crust pizzas for $8.99. Papa Murphy's. We make great pizza so you can make the pizza great.
Such a great deal.
$8.99. That is a great deal.
Next Door and Window of Madison. Visit nextwindow.com.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
We start with Kyrian Lee live in Chicago this morning. Hi, Kyrian.
Hi, good morning. Yes, the fourth and final day of the DNC here in Chicago. The theme is For Our Future. Later tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris will accept her party's nomination as the presidential nominee. It'll be her biggest speech yet. Back to you all.
We have an update on that fire near Sun Prairie this morning. In a new release, crews say nobody was home at the time of arrival around 2 this morning. This was on Branch Road in the town of Bristol. Investigators say the home is a total loss and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
A new study finds that supermarket baby food aisles are packed with non-nutritious foods that contain too much sugar and misleading marketing claims. Researchers analyzed 651 baby food products. 60% failed to meet the World Health Organization's nutritional guidelines for infant and toddler foods. Almost none of the foods met all of the WHO's ad standards. Wisconsin folks will have the option to file their taxes for free with the IRS in 2025. The state is going to join the IRS Direct File program for next filing season. Eligible taxpayers will have the option to file their taxes online directly to the IRS for free.
Temperatures will be closer to what's normal for this time of year tomorrow. Today, still a cooler day ahead, 76. We're up to 79 Friday, and then a warm weekend ahead where temperatures could top out near 90 on Sunday. I think that's a little more likely on Monday as that heat continues to expand eastward, and then Labor Day weekend looks cooler than normal again.
Not done with that heat quite yet.
No, we have a couple of days ahead.
All right, Savannah, thank you.
We'll have another news and weather update from Chicago right after some national news.